it still remains unfinished work. And at the same time, they also remind Black audiences of the resilience, of surviving, building and advancing despite centuries of barriers. That message of strength is just a center of the criticism. So when you hear those speeches, don't just hear anger. Hear the layers behind the anger. Memory, history, frustration, pride, and a call for transformation. Because ultimately, the deeper conversation isn't about one race versus another. It's about how a nation faces its own past. Honestly, courageously, and with
New
the
jump.
commitment to do better moving
Yes,
forward.
sir.
And maybe the
Had the
real takeaway
upgrade
is this. You can't
for the new
change history,
season, for the new
but you
year.
can decide
Let's go.
how honestly you confront
New
it. You
stadium.
can't erase injustice,
We
but you
hosting
can
the
work to correct its
the
lasting
draft next year.
effects.
2030,
So
new
when you hear those
stadium,
speeches,
dome stadium.
don't just hear,
2035, we got the Super Bowl. Let's go.
just try to change
You know what I'm
according to
saying?
what they're being said.
We upgrading.
Because you can't, since you can't
Watch
change
the
history,
Commanders. Watch the
but
Redskins.
you can build
Watch the
image by
football
painting
team. The whole nine.
pain never
You feel
exists.
me?
You build by
Let's
acknowledging
go.
it and choosing a better path, like the Black people have been trying to do all their days in America. Okay, this conversation headlines America each and every day. Like there's a word it says that white people should be removed. It's not trying to say that they should be killed. It's trying to say that they will get a punishment from God for always and always treating the Black people like this. Because for the longest, they believe that these Black people should deserve better right now. Like he talks about how people are mistreated in Compton. ICE came there about deportations. Yet Black people were brought from Africa to America. So the citizenship of America. So Luis Farrakhan is trying to defend each and every Black person and trying to show how these problems between the white American and Black people can actually end by bringing unity. Remember, this YouTube channel is always about unity. And make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, make sure you share this video, and let's meet on the next one.
I thought my neighbor was lying when he said he cleared his entire.
I mean, it's an insult to me that you're going to ask me, can you forgive? How long have white people been doing this kind of evil to the darker people in the earth? Since they've been here. And when we make up our mind, we're not taking it no more. Because it's better to be dead than to live under tyranny all the days of your life. This is why America separated from England. The tyranny of King George was too much for them to bear. So what did they do? Who fight with us? That's why our parents sung Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. Because they saw a chariot in the air. Oh, Lord. You are well protected. Yes, sir. Hold your head up high. Go on out in the night. Resolve to make peace with yourself. Make peace with your family. Be at peace with each other and come into unity. And never shed the blood of yourself or your brother. There must be a place to resolve conflict in our community because we're.
All right, that's the Honorable Farrakhan. And, he giving some facts on just history in itself. We're closing out Black History Month. And, you know, but if you like me, Black History is 365. Tom Joyner coined that phrase, and it's true. We make history every day with, you know, incredible things that we do, you know, that we go through, life events and whatnot. And, you know, uh, it's what it is, let's go back to the origin. Black history was started in 1921 by Carter G. Woodson, who was an educator, and Dr. Carter G. Woodson. Do your research. And by 1976, Black History became a whole month in February. You know what I'm saying? And I forgot the reason why he chose February, but I know it has something to do with the two people that uh, contribute to the Proclamation Emancipation, which was the freedom of black folks. If I'm not mistaken, I might be off, and but the two people that was responsible solely was President Lincoln and the Honorable Frederick Douglass. You know what I'm saying? So their birthdays is in February. So he chose that month to honor these two key figures that put that in motion and made it happen. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know. So that was that. Let's get back to it. You know.
Fighting and killing each other over nothing. So the pastors, the lawyers, the ones that are wise, enter the fray and say to your people, do you trust me? I am a trusted black man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I earned that trust. Yes, sir. I earned that trust because I've never sold a black man out. I have always come to our defense. So when I teach one, then we resolve our conflicts and be at peace with one another. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your charity. Thank you for your presence. And may Allah bless each and every one of you. And I will see you, God willing, 10, 10, 15. Justice. Justice. One more time. Justice. Go.
Clearly, after slavery ended, freedom did not really come in the way people imagine. Reconstruction promised change, but Jim Crow laws rose quickly. Segregation, lynching, and economic exclusion. These weren't random events. They were policies, rules, and social norms that told Black Americans again and again, you are not equal. So when Farrakhan speaks with anger, many listeners hear not just anger, but memory. He points to how schools were underfunded, neighborhoods were redeemed, and opportunities were restricted. He asks, if people are locked out of wealth, education, and power for generations, how can you expect quality to magically appear overnight? Now, for a second, let's really think about this, because this is where his speeches become emotional. He frames it as a moral question, not just political, not just economic, but moral. He asks whether America has truly reconciled with its past, or whether it's simply
Yeah, so We're watching what's this brother name? His name is Eddie Musumba, and this is his channel, and it's titled Heated Reactions from Farrakhan. You know, so it's like it's so much to talk about, man, when you know you think of the fight that ethnic folks, let's just keep it with black folks in general. You know, it's an uphill battle every day. And I just told my son yesterday, him and his girlfriend, she was doing his hair as far as the braids, the dreads. I guess she was redoing them or whatever. And you know, we got to be 3 times better than our counterparts, and you just can't be good. You got to be great, better than great. It's my son and his girl, you know. She doing his dreads over or whatever. But you know, got to be better than good. You got to be great, you know, and you know, it's always a fight, a uphill battle, but you know, it can be done. We done got this far, but we got so far to go. We not finished, you know. So I'm gonna go ahead and let my man rock out though. You know what I'm saying?
Move forward without repairing the damage done. And that's powerful challenge. But it's the thing that often gets missed. Farrakhan's message is not just an accusation. It's about awakening. It pushes black communities to become self-reliant, disciplined, and also united. In his view, the path forward is not waiting for fairness, but building strength internally, economically, spiritually, and also socially. That's why his influence has lasted so long. It mixes criticism of historical injustice with calls for black empowerment. To his supporters, he is not just pointing fingers. He is calling for responsibility and independence. Of course, his critics say his tone can be too harsh, too generalizing, and sometimes divisive. They argue that blaming an entire race risks repeating the same kind of collective judgment that caused the problem in the first place. And that's where it comes in. Because it gets complicated. Because history is real. The injustices are documented. The disparities today in wealth, policing, housing, education do not appear out of thin air. They are connected to past decisions, but at the same time, the present world is more diverse and more complex than it was decades ago. Many people believe the focus should be on cooperation, not confrontation. So when Farrakhan says whites have not done good to blacks, what he's really saying is this: the legacy of oppression hasn't been fully corrected. The wound, in his view, has never fully healed. And whether one agrees or disagrees, that perspective forces a conversation that society often tries to avoid. Okay, let's get a bit deeper. Why do such speeches still resonate till today? Because many people look around and still see inequality. They see wealth gaps that remain massive. They see schools in some neighborhoods lacking resources, and they see criminal justice disparities. To them, these are not isolated issues. They are a continuation of a long historical pattern. And when a speaker connects present struggles to historical roots, it creates a powerful emotional bridge. It says, what we are expecting is not random, it's a story behind. That kind of framing gives people identity, explanation, and sometimes even purpose. But here's the balance we must keep in mind. History should be remembered honestly, without turning it into permanent division. Understanding justice should push society toward repair and unity, not deeper hostility, because if the past teaches us anything, it's that cycles of blame alone don't build a better future. Action and reconciliation should do. So the real question becomes, how do we acknowledge painful truths while still building a shared future? That's the question hanging behind every speech, every debate, every fire clip. When Farrakhan speaks forcefully about rest and history. And maybe that's why his words never fade away. They challenge comfort. They challenge the official narrative that everything has already been fixed. They force listeners to confront whether quality has truly been achieved or whether it still remains unfinished work. And at the same time, they also remind Black audiences of the resilience, of surviving, building and advancing despite centuries of barriers. That message of strength is just a center of the criticism. So when you hear those speeches, don't just hear anger, hear the layers behind the anger. Memory, history, frustration, pride, and a call for transformation. Because ultimately, the deeper conversation isn't about one race versus another. It's about how a nation faces its own past. Honestly, courageously, and with their commitment to do better moving forward. And maybe the real takeaway is this: you can't change history, but you can decide how honestly you confront it. You can't erase injustice, but you can work to correct its lasting effects. So when you hear those speeches, don't just hear anger. Just try to change according to what they have been said. Because you can't change history. And you can build unity by pretending the pain never existed. You build by acknowledging it and choosing a better path, like the Black people have been trying to do all their days in America. Okay, this conversation headlines America each and every day. Like there's a word that says that white people should be removed. It's not trying to say that they should be killed. It's trying to say that they will get a punishment from God for always and always treating the Black people like this. Because for the longest, they believe that these Black people should deserve better right now. Like he talks about how people are mistreated in Compton, ICE came there, about deportations. That Black people who are brought from Africa to America, so the citizenship of America. So Louis Farrakhan is trying to defend each and every Black person and trying to show how these problems between the white American and the Black people can actually end by bringing unity. Remember, this YouTube channel is always about unity. And make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, make sure you share this video, and let's meet on the next one.
And if you let him in, he'll make you into himself. So this life is precious. And we cannot allow anybody to take our life, and we don't fight like hell to preserve and protect it. When our women are attacked, like the little girl in Texas, and you see a policeman that is big and strong with his knee in her neck and his knee in her back, how could we stand by? What did she do to deserve that? A pool party. She's in a bikini. She has no weapon. That's time to die. That's time for us to show that we are real men.
What if I told you that I built a
Oh, brother and sister, you're well protected.
Yes, sir.
They asked the messenger when they were talking about the wheels that are above our head, they call them UFOs. And they asked Elijah Muhammad, when will they go into action? He said, the moment you attack us.
Yeah.
So look, man, that's why our parents sung Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, because they saw a chariot in the air. Oh, Lord. And children in some place to have them slaughtered. But that's what the white man hopes for. That's why he makes mischief with my words. Farrakhan want to get an army to kill white people, because you see, white people deserve to die. And they know, so they think it's us coming to do it. No, no, no. But the one thing I will say, brothers and sisters, we are nonviolent until somebody attacks us. Wait. This is the only.
All right, I'm gonna leave y'all with that. You know, I got an appointment to address and get to. So, again, we coming to the ending of Black History Month, and you know, I hope I did it some justice. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you know, it is what it is. You know. All right. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll be back at y'all sometime of the day, because this just 25 minutes in, so I'm gonna give y'all a whole hour, and but we'll see how that go later. All right, peace. Big Day, Streets Finest. Let's get it. This our 5th anniversary, and got something special for you, far as some gear. You know, we're gonna do a new photo shoot. You know, I be trying to be creative every year and do something different far as my look, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, you know, I was gonna change my backdrop. Everybody like, nah, don't change it. You know what I'm saying? You know, sometimes when you change too much, you lose the essence of your brand, and you know, you can change other things like your wardrobe, but you know, what's been a staple needs to remain visual. So Soon as somebody know it or see it, soon as somebody see it, they know where it's related to. So thank you for that advice from a few people that said that to me. Like, nah, leave it like it is. You know what I'm saying? You straight. So that's what we doing. All right, peace. I get at y'all, man. Have a blessed day. And your boys out. Peace.